In the country of Cuba, there's a big city called Santiago de Cuba, and they have a big church there, um, basilica, and it's called Our Lady of Charity of El Corbe. And if you go into that church, you can see a small statue, and it's of Mary with the baby Jesus, and she's wearing these large ornate vestments. And that this history of that statue is very interesting. There's a story behind it. A long, long time ago, in the year 1608, two brothers and their slave, the three of them, were traveling in a paddle boat. They were going to a bay. But there was a big storm, and the three of them were very afraid, and they prayed to God to help save them, get them through the storm. And all of a sudden, the rain stopped, and the water calmed right down. The three of them were so grateful. Then one of them noticed something white that was floating in the water. They thought it might have been a dead bird or something. They were curious, so they went up to it, and they saw that it was a statue. The statue with the ornate large clothing. And even though it had been in the water, it was dry. So the three of them decided to go back home. And they were asking the people in the city, what should we do? So through discussion, they decided to set up a hut, a simple shrine where people could go to see the statue. But every night the statue kept disappearing. And they would find it somewhere else. And they figured that the reasoning behind this was because Mary wanted the shrine to be set up somewhere else. So they set up the shrine in El Corbe. And many of the slaves in that area, they loved Mary. They had a lot of devotion for her. So this went on, and in year 1966, the Pope named Our Lady of Charity of El Corbe the patroness of Cuba. She's a patron saint. And now they have a big, beautiful basilica built there, and that basilica houses the statue. Many people would go there, and there were a lot of healings there. If you go down into the basement of that church, you can see that there are many wheelchairs, crutches, all sorts of those types of things. So people would go there and they would pray, and then they would be ready to leave, and they wouldn't need their wheelchairs anymore. Another strange thing that you can see at that church is a Nobel Peace Prize. Very famous author, Ernest Hemingway. He donated his Nobel Prize to that basilica. And in 1998, Pope John Paul II, he also visited that basilica. So the story of Our Lady of Charity of El Corbe is quite an interesting one, right? I hope you enjoyed the story. Thank you, and God bless.